Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is, it's really a deep exploration into application.
Right.
We're trying to move past just, having that mental clarity about self-mastery and dive into how to actually do it.
In real life.
Yes, in the micro moments of your daily life. We're focusing on breaking the emotional habits of your old self, not just in the quiet of a meditation, but when you're fully in the world.
In the middle of a tense email or...
Exactly. Or when that familiar feeling of inadequacy just pops up in a totally ordinary conversation.
Yeah.
And I should mention, this deep dive is inspired by concepts found in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, Becoming Supernatural. Everything you'll hear today is our own original interpretation, expressed through the lens of emotional healing and self-mastery.
Absolutely.
So before we jump in, let's just take a moment. Let's maybe take one or two slow, centering breaths together.
Good idea.
Okay. Now, if you, the listener, feel like you slide back into the same old emotional patterns again and again, I just want to normalize that experience right here.
Yes, please.
You are not failing. Your body is simply trained.
That's it. It's trained.
And we know you get the thinking feeling loop, you understand emotional survival mode, but today we're focusing on the true frontier.
Which is how to interrupt that loop.
The very moment it starts trying to run the show.
Okay, so to do that, we first need a really precise definition of what we're up against.
Right.
What exactly is an emotional habit of the old self? The sources define a habit as a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions.
So it's something we've just acquired through repetition.
Exactly, through frequent repetition. And what's fascinating here is that this isn't a choice you're consciously making every morning.
No.
It's a predictable, automated emotional script. And the body runs it before your conscious mind even has a chance to intervene.
So it's already happening by the time we notice it.
It's already in motion. This repetition hardwires your brain into those patterns, and it conditions your body to just exist in the past.
So over time, your body literally becomes the mind.
It literally becomes the mind. It's subconsciously running a program that keeps you feeling the exact same way you have for years.
And framing it that way is so essential because it removes the shame.
It has to.
We are not talking about a character flaw here or some kind of moral failing.
Not at all. We are talking about biological conditioning.
Right. So when we talk about emotions like anxiety or worry or frustration,
We're talking about the chemical residue. That's all it is. The residue left over from past experiences.
and when you keep repeating those familiar feelings, you are just chemically conditioning your body to live in that past emotional state.
Right. And the body, acting as that subconscious mind, it actually believes it's living in the same experience 204/7.
So it's this conditioned body that through its, cravings for stress hormones?
Yes, exactly. It's dragging you into a predictable future where all your choices and actions are really just reactions to those comfortable old emotions.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's get really specific.
Good.
How does this old programmed self actually show up? I mean, in those mundane, everyday moments.
Because that's where the work happens.
It is. Because if we can't recognize the pattern, we can't interrupt it.
Right.
So think about the moment your alarm goes off. Do you wake up and just immediately start scanning for what's wrong?
Yeah. Looking for the problem.
When thinking about a deadline or you remember a slightly off interaction from yesterday?
And that mechanism, that's your body searching for that familiar feeling called you. That old self is so often wired to past problems, which means you start your entire day rooted in the past.
And all that vital creative energy just goes straight into survival mode.
Just to manage the stress of yesterday, you've already lost the day.
Or what about the reflexive grab for your phone? First thing.
Oh, that's a big one.
The need to immediately check social feeds, emails, the news.
That automatic reflex is often just a search for external validation or distraction. When you live in survival mode, those stress hormones, they literally cause your nervous system to narrow its focus.
So by instantly giving all your attention and energy to the outer world.
You leave no energy for the inner work, for creation. You're basically telling your body that the external world is in charge of how you feel.
And you're just trapped in reaction.
Totally trapped.
That makes so much sense. Okay, another one is replaying conversations. You catch yourself going over an argument from last week, thinking of the perfect thing you should have said.
Or rehashing a moment where you felt small, you over-apologized.
Yes.
That repeated mental rehearsal is so significant because you're just firing and wiring the same circuits in your brain over and over.
Reaffirming that identity.
An unhappy or guilty or fearful self-identity. You are literally priming your brain to run that same software again later.
You're using your present moment to chemically and neurologically reinforce a self you're trying to leave behind.
Perfectly said.
And finally, that familiar state of catastrophizing around money, work, relationships, that sudden surge of dread.
That reaction, it immediately releases the chemicals for familiar feelings. Anxiety, worry, frustration, unworthiness.
It's the body demanding its fix.
It is. The nervous system, having been trained by repetition, sees the known state, even if it's painful or stressful, as safer than the unknown.
Safer than a healthy future.
1,000 times safer. The body gets addicted to its own stress hormones. It craves the chemicals it's conditioned to.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Shifting from being a victim of those habits to becoming the conscious creator of your state.
The turning point.
Emotional intelligence is the key here, because it's about recognizing that exact moment the body starts to run the show.
Exactly. When those familiar stress chemicals are released, they send these powerful signals to the brain that feel urgent, and they feel true.
Yeah, it feels like an undeniable urge to check your phone right now.
Or panic about that email, or just that pervasive internal voice that says, you're not enough. Emotional intelligence means quickly clarifying the difference between that urgent feeling and the actual truth.
So the urgent feeling is the pattern.
It's the pattern. It's your body signaling, I want another hit of my familiar fear.
But the truth is,
this is a program running in the background, and it is not the whole truth of who I am in this moment.
but if the nervous system prefers what's familiar, and that addiction is a real chemical, biological craving, how can a simple, 2-second pause possibly overcome that?
Yeah.
It feels like bringing a feather to a gunfight.
That is the perfect question, and it's the absolute heart of the mechanism.
Okay.
The power lies entirely in that microgap, that split second between the stimulus, the phone buzzes, the memory pops up, and the impulse to act on the old habit.
So you're not fighting the whole program.
No, you're just stopping the impulse to obey the program. When you pause, you inhibit those familiar feelings. That inhibition is the moment you stop conditioning your body into the past. You stop signaling the same genes in the same ways.
So the pause isn't an act of strength, it's an act of inhibition.
Exactly. It breaks the automatic sequence. The body's demanding the emotion to continue the pattern, but by stopping and choosing differently, you deny the body the chemical signal it's craving.
So the action steps, they happen entirely within that microgap.
That's the only place that can...
You have to become so conscious of the unconscious program
Yeah.
that you just don't let it slip by your awareness.
Yeah.
So in that split second, you have to do 3 things. First, name the pattern. This is my old self trying to run the show.
Right. See.
Second, pause and breathe. Inhibit those feelings and just create some space.
Yes.
And third, choose a different micro-response. Decide that you will not step out of this pause as the same person who went into it.
And this is where the rubber meets the road. To make this practical, we need tiny, realistic micro tools. Things that can be implemented in those exact moments to reinforce that new choice, that agency.
Okay, what do you have?
The first tool is the 2-breath pause before responding to anything tense or immediate.
Oh, I like that.
So you get a text that triggers anxiety or an email that demands outrage. Instead of typing, lean back, take 2 slow, deep breaths.
What does that do?
This breath work is designed to pull your attention and your energy out of the emotional center of your body where the old feeling lives and bring it back to the present moment.
That brief pause is enough.
It's often sufficient to inhibit the familiar feeling and stop the body from being conditioned into the past.
That's brilliant. So transformation is about breathing, not about willpower.
At its core, yes.
Okay, a second critical tool. This involves the power of mental rehearsal. So instead of defaulting to that self-attack thought, I messed that up, I'm not qualified, try replacing one self-attack thought with just one neutral or kind sentence.
It doesn't have to be a huge affirmation.
No, maybe it's just, I am learning, or I am enough for this moment.
Right.
The source material confirms that mentally rehearsing a desired state, even just imagining a new response, it actually installs neurological hardware as if the new experience has already happened.
You're using your imagination to install a new, healthy software program.
Exactly. And you're effectively pruning the old negative circuit by just starving it of attention.
And finally, one of the most powerful things you can do is engage your body physically to interrupt that survival mechanism.
How so?
Gently relax your jaw and shoulders and feel the chair or the floor before making a decision.
Get grounded.
Get grounded. This action pulls the body out of that high beta, frantic survival state. When you're in survival, your conscious mind is overthinking, analyzing, generating stress. By relaxing your physical structure and grounding yourself, just feeling the floor beneath your feet, you quiet that thinking brain and you allow the deeper intelligence of the autonomic nervous system to step in.
Yeah, it knows what to do.
It knows how to restore order and balance way better than your conscious, worried mind ever could.
So these small, simple actions, these are how you vote for the new self in real time.
They're a vote every single time.
Every time you choose differently, to pause, to say a kind word to yourself, to soften your jaw, you are literally changing the structure and function of your body.
You are. You're sending a new chemical signal to your DNA, telling your genes to make new healthy proteins. This isn't mystical.
No, it's biology. It's how you recondition your body to align with a new mind.
So let's synthesize this whole journey with a powerful reframe.
Okay.
On the one hand, softly, remember, you do not have to become a completely different woman overnight.
Thank goodness.
You only need to be more committed to a new future than you are to the familiar past.
And here's the strong, powerful truth that you need to internalize from that. You are allowed to stop betraying yourself to keep those old patterns alive. You are allowed to be unpredictable, to step into the unknown.
This is about deciding to stop sending those old, familiar signals to your body.
And scientifically, what's happening?
Repeating these new choices rewires the pathways over time. The old circuits that kept firing and wiring together, they stop being stimulated.
And they just fade away.
They begin to prune apart. That is the physical mechanism of how you break the habit of being your old self and how you invent a whole new one.
So what does this all mean for you today, right now? Breaking the emotional habit of the old self is a conscious, moment-by-moment practice. It is not a sweeping performance.
Not at all.
It's just about catching those micro moments and choosing the new response.
So we invite you today to choose just one recurring situation.
Just one.
Whether it's that immediate reach for the phone or the automatic self-critical thought or the tendency to brace your shoulders when you face an obstacle.
And in that one situation,
Pause and respond just 1% differently. If the decision to step into the unknown, to choose a feeling of safety or empowerment in just a single micro moment, can immediately change the chemical fate of your body. What familiar reality are you ready to finally let go of?
remember this core reminder as you move through your day. You are not behind. You are becoming.